You ever notice how the quietest people in the room are often the ones carrying the heaviest weight? Not the ones crying for attention, not the ones posting every emotion online, the silent ones, the ones who nod, who smile, who say, "I'm fine," even when they're not. But here's what most people don't understand. Silence isn't always peace. Sometimes it's pressure. And pressure doesn't disappear just because you don't talk about it. It builds, it tightens, and eventually something gives. Today, we're going inside the mind of people who keep everything inside. And I want you to listen closely, because this might be you, or someone you care about more than you realize. Here's an uncomfortable truth about human nature that nobody likes to admit. Most people don't learn emotional control naturally. They're trained into it. From childhood, many of us are taught to be composed, to stay quiet, to not make a scene, especially in traditional households. Don't cry in front of guests. Don't talk back. Don't burden others with your problems. And when that message is repeated enough, your brain adapts. Bottling emotions stops being a choice. It becomes survival. You learn that expressing yourself leads to punishment, dismissal, or silence. So your mind does what it's designed to do. It protects you by shutting things down, by keeping everything inside. But emotions don't disappear just because you ignore them. They don't fade away. They accumulate, layer by layer, year after year, until one day, you can't even name what you're feeling anymore. You just know something is wrong. Psychologists call this emotional suppression, but that term barely scratches the surface. Because what's really happening is a slow erosion of the self. When you spend years swallowing anger, grief, fear, and disappointment, you're not just hiding emotions. You're teaching yourself that your inner world doesn't matter, that your pain isn't valid, that you don't deserve to take up space. And that belief seeps into everything: your relationships, your work, your confidence, your sense of worth. People who keep everything inside are often seen as strong, reliable, stoic. They're the ones others lean on in a crisis because they never fall apart. They always seem composed, but strength and suppression are not the same thing. Real strength knows when to speak, when to release, when to say, "I can't carry this anymore." Suppression is fear dressed up as control. Inside the mind of someone who's been doing this for years, life becomes exhausting. There's constant self-monitoring. Every interaction feels like a performance. Am I showing too much? Do they see the cracks? Can they tell something's wrong? And because expressing emotion never felt safe, trust quietly disappears. Not just trust in others, but trust in yourself. You assume that if you let people in, they'll judge you, abandon you, or use your vulnerability against you. So you build walls, you deflect, you joke, you change the subject. You learn how to be present without actually being there. Over time, something dangerous happens. You lose access to yourself. You stop knowing what you want, what you need, what you feel. The emotional signals you've been ignoring for years stop coming through clearly. Numbness sets in. And numbness is one of the most dangerous emotional states a person can live in. Because when you can't feel your own pain, you can't protect yourself from what's causing it. You tolerate toxic relationships. You stay in jobs that drain you. You ignore warning signs from your body and your mind because you've trained yourself not to listen. Eventually, suppression reaches a breaking point, and contrary to what people expect, it's rarely loud, it's rarely explosive. Most of the time, it's quiet and far more devastating. Some people collapse inward: depression, anxiety, chronic stress. Physical illness. The body keeps the score, and when emotions have nowhere to go, they turn inward. Migraines, digestive problems, insomnia, autoimmune issues. The body becomes the battlefield for an emotional war that was never acknowledged. Others disappear emotionally. They still show up, still function, still go through the motions. But there's nobody home. They stop reaching out, stop caring. And because they were always good at hiding, their absence feels normal to everyone else. Then there's the third outcome, the snap, but not toward the people who caused the pain, toward themselves. Self-sabotage, addiction, reckless behavior, quiet self-destruction fueled by years of unspoken emotion and misplaced shame. If you recognize yourself in this, understand this clearly. You are not broken. You adapted. You survived. You did what you had to do in an environment that didn't allow vulnerability. But survival mode was never meant to be permanent. So here are the patterns to watch for. They never ask for help, even when they're drowning. They're hyper-competent because being useful feels safer than being vulnerable. They minimize their pain constantly. It's not a big deal. Others have it worse. I'm fine. They struggle with emotional intimacy, not because they don't crave it, but because vulnerability feels dangerous. And when they finally reach their breaking point, it shocks everyone. They seemed fine. No, they were just well-trained. Healing doesn't start with suddenly opening up to everyone. It starts slowly, carefully, by reconnecting with emotions that were shut down for years. Anger, grief, fear, loneliness. Feelings aren't threats. They're information. They're your internal guidance system trying to tell you what's working and what isn't. And learning to listen again takes time. Healing isn't clean or linear. It's uncomfortable. It's messy. But the alternative is a lifetime disconnected from yourself and from real peace. So let me leave you with this. If you're someone who keeps everything inside, your silence isn't strength. It's a wound. And wounds don't heal in the dark. They need air. They need light. They need to be acknowledged. You don't have to tell everyone your story, but you do need one safe space, one person, one moment where you allow yourself to say, I'm not okay. Because the weight you're carrying was never meant to be carried alone. And to everyone else watching, pay attention to the quiet ones, the ones who never complain, the ones who always seem fine. Because sometimes, the strongest looking people are the closest to breaking. If this resonated, say something below. Even one sentence is enough. And if you want more honest explorations of human psychology, subscribe to Mind Enigma.